Let's start with, I just want to find out how you got into dentistry. Let's start there.
Oh, how did I get into this mess? Well, I'm going to be really raw, Eric. I was raised in a home where a nice Jewish boy was supposed to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, et cetera, et cetera. And I was a pre-med student. And back in the day, my 355 did not get me into med school. And I was down hard. In fact, I had to drop out of school. I had to drop out of college spring senior year because of an illness in the family. So all my friends graduated and went on to successful post-grad careers. And I'm sitting working in a retail store. And I didn't know what the heck to do. I didn't want to be a dentist, stick my fingers in people's mouths. That was disgusting. And it's funny you should ask me that because I just spoke to my very dear friend, Mark Ladenheim, who's a cardiologist out in LA. He was my best friend in college. His dad, Dr. Bob, was my dentist. And we were out at the country club with Mark and Dr. Bob and their family. And Dr. Bob said to me in very New York crude terms, stop dilly-dallying around. Go to dental school, come to my office, watch me work. It's fun. And I went and watched Dr. Bob work. And he, seeing it over his shoulders is much different than seeing it looking at his fingers in my mouth. And Bob Ladenheim loved what he did. And I caught the fever. And Bob was the old-fashioned community dentist. Everybody loved him. Everybody called him Bob. And man, it just lit a fire in me that the heck with sticking fingers in people's mouth, the heck with working with these ookie-gookie materials. I like what I see here. And that is what motivated me to apply to dental school. And it took me 2 rounds to get in. And if it wasn't for, and the point I want to make, Eric, is that the rejection, the horrible rejection of what was a pre-programmed lifelong dream led to me being here. And there is no such thing as failure. Rejection is just, no means not at this time. Sometimes no means check for plan B because you are exactly where you're supposed to be, as I was 40 some years ago. So don't ever be disheartened. And I think this is a stress-free dentistry kind of thing where don't be disheartened where you think life is letting you down. Life is just leading you somewhere. And it led me to this, and of course, a friendship with you.
Man, I love that where you said rejection just means not at this time. That is such a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about your career in dentistry. Are you still practicing? Are you in private practice? Where do you practice? Tell me all about that.
Here I am. My associate took off today, so I am here at Alan G. Stern World Headquarters. I am a solo private practitioner on the Jersey Shore, the land of the free and the home of the bribe, where rudeness is a way of life. And I've been practicing here at this location for 35 years. I was an associate in a practice for 5 years prior to that after a GPR. So I am a one-person, small, high care, high touch private practice. And that's who I am. I modeled a lot of this subliminally after what I saw in Dr. Bob. And I come in and I enjoy myself. We have great times with the people we serve, formerly known as patients. I do adult restorative dentistry. And I don't do what I don't like to do. If you're under 14, I'd love to see you with mommy and daddy, but I don't want you in my office. If you need a root canal, God invented the endodontist for that reason. So the beauty of what I do, solo private practice, after a certain amount of time, you have a certain degree of autonomy of thought and choice and independence. And that's where I am. And I practice my way when I want. And I am content.